The very basis of this book, you say, I mean, this is in the jacket flap of the book. It says you wrote this to investigate why this happened at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and how we can prevent it from happening again. Walk us through what you found in your investigations. Why did this happen?
Well, first, I just want to talk to parents and grandparents out there, because I have to live with the guilt now, Liz, of sending my daughter to a school and not knowing what was going on there and how dangerous it was. One of the things in the book that you asked me about, this person was so dangerous that I found out they had to frisk him every morning before school. He wasn't allowed in with a backpack. And even in middle school, if you would believe this, he talked about killing. He was infatuated with guns. He dreamt of blood. And yet alone, when they mainstreamed him back into high school, they actually taught him to shoot in the school, Liz. They put him in JROTC and gave him an air gun and taught him how to shoot. And these are the things I found out with and I have to live with. So one of the reasons why I put this book together is it's not even a book, Liz. I call it now a manual. And parents and grandparents now, if they look at this book and see what happened to me, it's not only happening in Broward. These left policies, these leniency policies are put in throughout the whole country. So parents need to read this book in order to see what happened in Parkland, and then they could relate to it if it's happening in their child's school. And now a parent has no excuse to say they didn't know what was going on in their school, like what happened to me.
Right, and I mean, it's so mind-boggling to hear you tell this story, to see how this shooter slipped through the cracks. I mean, frisking him every morning when he came into school, that's not something that typically happens to students. How did he slip through the cracks? Were there policies there at the school that enabled that to happen?
Well, Robert Runcie, this failed superintendent that's still in Broward County, he came from Chicago, Liz, and he wanted to end the school-to-prison pipeline. So how did he do that? He just said, let's stop arresting kids and let's put them into different programs where they're going to have healing circles and coddle these kids and let them watch video games. So he put a program, a policy in place, allowing these kids 4 misdemeanors per school year with never getting arrested or getting introduced to the judicial system, which it does, it creates a culture of leniency throughout the school district where it fails everybody. It fails the kids that are acting out and disruptive because you don't teach them accountability. It fails the kids that just want to go there and learn. And then you got to have the teachers dealing with it. It's a failed policy. And parents, you got to read this book. You have no excuse not to know what happened now if it's going on in your child's school. And most schools it is.